Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session on the fine art of crafting experiences with customer intelligence. So in the future, smart workflows and seamless human-machine interactions will be standard, and companies will treat this interaction like they usually treat their corporate balance sheets. So brands are transforming into data-driven organizations and want to optimize every aspect of their work. So while traditional market research and social media platforms are still relevant, digital media is accelerating consumer journeys and shrinking the window of opportunity to deploy a business strategy based on actionable insights. AWS recently reported that big companies in India could grow their annual revenue by a whopping 13.6% if they could harness the power of data. As organizations invest more in digital transformation, they can use data to improve productivity and general financial returns. So how exactly to do that? How brands could leverage data to bring out something fruitful? Let's learn more about the capability of unified analytics dashboards and its ability to turn real-time insights that enables businesses to act with agility and unlock business growth. To know more about this subject, I now invite my experts for the day, Mr. Vishal Agarwal, co-founder and CEO Locobuzz. Hi, Vishal.
Hi, Ojasvi. How are you doing?
I'm good. Welcome to the session.
Thank you.
And Mr. Nitin Agarwal, co-founder and CTO Locobuzz. Hi, Nitin.
Hi, Ojasvi.
Hi. And finally, Mr. Vijay Vittal, lead product innovation Locobuzz.
Hi, Ojasvi. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Vishal, Nitin, and Vijay. Welcome to today's sessions. And I'm your host, Ojasvi Nath, assistant editor, features ET BrandEquity. So to begin with, can you all just share a brief introduction about yourselves, Locobuzz, and your respective visions for the company? We can definitely begin with Vishal. Over to you.
You're starting with a trick question, so there's no respective vision for the company. We all have exactly one vision for the company. We want to be that ideal technology partner, which is enabling organizations to help build long-term trust, advocacy, and loyalty of their customers. And how we do it in a variety of ways. Nitin has his biases with technology. I'll have my biases with feature richness. And Vijay has his biases with, let's add this, let's add that, and do that integration. We have been working with over 200 plus enterprises in India and in Southeast Asia.
So, hi, this is Vijay. I lead product innovation here at Locobuzz. So, my vision for the company, as Vishal said, right, we want to be that partner which gives you the capabilities to analyze customer intelligence and also use that same in the same platform to elevate the experience and scale positive experiences of the customer in every touch point that you interact with them.
And Nitin?
So, hi, Ojasvi. I actually, I'm aligned with this vision of both Vishal and Vijay, and we want to become the best CX suite out there. So my role is to ensure that our technology is not only cutting edge, but we serve a common purpose of like becoming the best CX suite there.
Anyway, so you guys introduced yourself. Thank you so much. Now I would move on to Vijay. And like when customers feel like they're having an excellent experience with your company, it makes you more than a brand. It makes you their friend, right? So Vijay, let me ask you, what according to you is customer intelligence and how can it be utilized to form effective business strategies, as this will eventually help brands have an edge over other competitors? Over to you.
All right, thanks for this question. So every business primarily operates to provide value to its customers, right? But the value is very subjective. It really depends on how your customers perceive that value, right? And so this is the fundamental reason why it is really important for you to understand as many aspects of your customers as possible. And the customer intelligence is the practice that you follow to understand your customers through data, which is measurable, and you can compare that. Right. So with this practice, usually it really informs your business strategies in multiple ways. It helps you to build your next successful product. It enables you to time your next successful campaign and target it to the right folks. And it also teaches you to how to be competitive and also win against your competition. And finally, it's also helps you with pricing it right based on understanding of your customers' usage and the value that they associate with your product or services. And some of the things that I listed, there could be and multiple others, but these are the that really stands out as a kind of a product of customer understanding and customer intelligence towards business strategies.
Thank you so much, Vijay. That means overall customer intelligence boosts customer loyalty, improves your sales efficiencies, and helps build a more relatable persona for any brand. And now I'll move to Vishal. So Vishal, it is often quoted in reports that customer experience will play a role in determining a customer's association with the brand. And it is already impacting a brand's rapport with the customers. How can customer intelligence help brands create seamless experiences? Over to you, Vishal.
So one of the most interesting things about a great customer experience is familiarity with your experience provider. So I'll give you an example. A lot of times we like to all get together in that place or that tapri or that restaurant because the guy who seats us knows us. The person who's cooking maybe knows us, comes out and says hello, and that just little bit of personal touch really makes an amazing difference, and you are ready to overlook almost everything. This is what customer intelligence enables you. It enables an amazing level of personalization, and with personalization comes small delights. Like, for example, when you check in into your named hotel, no matter what city you check in, they know you prefer, staying next to the elevators or away from the elevators. These small things go a long way. Similarly, when your customer is on the digital platform and is experiencing your brand digitally, how the person behaves on the digital universe, like till we enter the metaverse, at least you would need to know, what they like, what they don't, the propensity, the patience, every aspect, right? So it makes a huge difference on how you serve a customer. And that's in a way how you create loyalty and brand ambassadors out of your customers.
So I would definitely agree to that we customers can ignore anything if the customer experience is great. So, but all of this happens because of data. If I understand it correctly, all this is supported by data. And Nitin, I'll bring you in here. And if you could just highlight how data plays a key role in building the trends around customers of a brand, but how to get that data? What are the basic sources of data? Nitin, can you please add to that?
Yes, Rajasvi. So you're absolutely right that data plays an important role in serving your customer, right? To understand what they are thinking, what they are saying, what their pain points are. So so that's why Locobuzz has a vast integration of platforms. So we collect data from 25 plus social platforms, and not only that, we also collect data from non-social platforms. For example, public web, review websites, e-commerce websites, live chat, email, and even CRM systems. So all the data collected from all these channels basically can define persona of a customer and helps brand cater to their need or customer's problem very easily.
Okay, and if I just ask, so how do you deal with data every day? Since organizations have tons of data coming from multiple sources. So I want to know from you, how do you deal with that data? And then maybe Vishal can add on to that what are the key skills needed to segregate that data and use that data, leverage it?
Okay, so you're right. We get data from a lot of platforms, right? So it is very, very important to categorize what is relevant information, what is irrelevant information. So what we have done is we have created certain machine learning models which does this automatically, so that the people who are working on the platform they don't have to waste their time, right? So this is the fundamental shifts which we are seeing, that things which can be handled by the machine should be handled by the machine. There should not be manual intervention in that.
And what's amazing now is more and more can be handled by the machine. I'm sure all of us have, played around with ChatGPT a bit also, right?
Yeah, a lot. trying to get the context of it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's so technology can do a lot. And like Nitin said, if technology can reliably do that for us, it frees up our time to do more interesting things, which technology yet cannot do. and add value in that direction.
Okay. And Vijay, would you like to add how to develop those skills, the much needed skills to like build up a team to leverage all this data?
So basically, it's best handled via using of a platform which really enables the user to identify patterns in the data that you see, right? As Nitin said earlier, that we are collecting data from 25 different sources. Most of this data is unstructured in nature. These are conversations, right? And machines have become very, very intelligent now to understand from those conversations to improve the customer understanding. Now, with that and identification of patterns, and then certain features like sentiment analysis, emotion detection, right? Categorization of messages. These are all come in handy, and these are the skill sets required. With this, the inside team can actually really create amazing reports that can inform business strategies and help functional teams to perform better with those kind of metrics that support them to improve on the KPIs that you're tracking.
All right, points to be noted, Vijay. Now, if I come back to Vishal. So Vishal, many organizations today, if we talk from a company founder's perspective, many organizations today lack a data-driven culture. So what are some of the typical challenges that organizations face when attempting to leverage, as we talk about customer intelligence, to optimize the customer experience you were just talking about? Yeah.
Sure. So I think the biggest challenge for organizations is not the data, but how the data is stored and kept. We have encountered usually in organization, there are so many silos when it comes to data and practices and products and tools. Sometimes we joke the left hand doesn't know from the right hand, what's happening. And sadly, because of processes, restrictions, sometimes when you are so focused on delivering the value of your department, you realize that a department is one small, keg in the whole thing, right? So it's the small peg in the whole puzzle. And these silos limit our understanding of the customer. Somebody may have transactional data about the customer. Somebody else may have the behavioral, insights of that customer, and somebody else may have certain transactions which are coming in through voice or email. And they're all being done by different technology partners. They're being done by different teams. And because you're not connecting all of it together, you're not able to combine and create a bigger picture, better picture, more understanding picture of the customer. For example, your email marketing team is sending an email for customer acquisition for selling a credit card, while I am fighting on social media that I have a fraudulent charge on my credit card. So that email is just going to backfire. Now, why it happens is because the email marketing team, which is working independently, doesn't know that this particular email ID is this Facebook ID, and that has a problem on Facebook, which they are raising with my team. Hence, it's important to dismantle silos. If we are able to dismantle these silos, create one view of the customer, not only can we improve these processes, but we'll be able to create a better understanding of the customer. And that can really help us figure out, how to target them, how to further delight them. And one of the very interesting layers around this is also how much data do you collect? So a lot of brands are focused on just collecting conversations of people around their brand, and they miss out on what these people say about their peers or competitors. And I think it's very important to have the other side, because sometimes, one of the things I say to people is, you may be happy that, say, Ojasvi is spending 20 room nights at your hotel chain, but you don't know that she spends 100 room nights on the other hotel chain. So suddenly, 20 room nights felt good when you did not know that. And now 20 feels much smaller when she's spending so much more with your competition. So I think having that intelligence is extremely valuable, not just within your organization, but looking at the data sources which you can get about a customer from these open data sources across the open world, right? So it's very interesting space, to be honest.
Very interesting, but I'll only spend if I'm getting a good discount. But anyway, you talked about breaking data silos. So how do you just manage that cat fight within the company? the teams, if I say, how to maintain that bond homie, how to create that bond homie? What are the key strategies that you can like practice in your workplace?
So you tell them that we're gonna make you a revenue center and not a cost center, and then they listen to you, and that's what you help them evolve, right?
Now we're talking about your vision here.
And
Yeah. So yeah. So you want to add on?
yeah, and furthermore, people are now realizing very clearly that one of the key USPs they will have in this competitive world is customer experience. And I can't emphasize enough how visible it is becoming across the board, right? Sometimes you choose a certain airlines because you know that their customer experience is better than the others, because the prices, everything is very similar. So what's that USP? What's the differentiator? That's the differentiator, and more and more people are realizing it.
All right. And Nitin, now I'll just ask you a question. Like, how does Locobuzz CX suite help brands create an impeccable CX? And what are the core competencies of the platform that empowers brands to deliver superior customer experience?
So we have created a set of very powerful AI and ML capabilities, which basically not only helps us collect the data and learn from it, but it gives us better understanding of what the customer needs, right? So if we stitch all these information together, a brand can get a very nice view of what the customer persona is, how the customer is interacting with you vis-a-vis your competition, right? And it can help them create segmentation of their customers, right? So that can help them provide a superior customer experience. So, and then we have a system of intelligence and system of actions. So system of intelligence means all the enrichments we are doing on the data which we collect, which is enriched so that brands can take decision. Now, when they have taken a decision, how to execute it, that's where system of actions comes into play, right? So our tool not only gives you the intelligence, but gives you the tool to interact with the customers as well. So it's a single platform where you can interact with the customer, get data about them, enrich or segment it, and do or run workflows in whatever manner you want.
And Nitin, if you could also add on to like using this data, all this data, and what ways can customer intelligence be utilized to inform the development of new products, new services that better meet customer needs? How do we do that?
So for let's take an example where you have identified a certain problem. Let's say a lot of people are complaining on a single GMB location. All right. Now we collect this data and we will on the dashboard you will see that only this particular region is generating a lot of negative chatter. Right now you can deep dive into that information, see what's causing this kind of negative emotion. Now, the tool gives you an ability to respond back to the customer saying that, okay, we have resolved this particular problem you have, or they can tell the customer that, okay, we apologize for the bad experience, but we are working towards it. And when you are prepared and with the solution, you can just inform that them that retry that product or service you were looking for.
Okay, and Vijay, now if you could also add, like Vishal mentioned about all the strategies, best practices after like breaking data silos, what are, according to you, are the best practices for sharing insights across organizations? Vijay, sorry.
All right. So in an organization, right, we have multiple functions. The functions exist because it has its own distinctive objectives to achieve, right? So to ensure the success, like you need to have a lot of clarity in terms on these objectives, and then a mechanism to measure your progress on those objectives, right? So this you need to have abilities to create your custom reports to measure your progress, right? So that is how that's one of the best practices I can say. For example, there is a marketing team who is interested in benchmarking their campaigns and measure their reach and impressions, and then also compare it with certain available information from the competition. right? And there is a customer experience team. They are very much focused on how soon are they responding and how what is the key issues that are causing a surge in this thing. So usually what happens is, as we can see, there are two different objectives. There needs to be a different report that they can generate from similar data, so that they are able to measure and then really take clear actions on the underlying activities that are happening, right? And when you look at it, it is also very important to also set this reporting frequency. When you want to, when you're looking at data from a weekly perspective, it definitely, your outlook towards those reports definitely changes when you're looking at a larger span, maybe a monthly, maybe a quarterly. You're not looking at the same data points, but maybe something else which may have changed in a longer span of time period, right? Usually what happens, we've seen, is most organizations, they just change the date duration of the same report and say this is 7 days, but this is 90 days. You're just looking at the same data. You may have missed on other things. Now, because there are so many things to measure, and today organizations like Locobuzz, we are able to give you that power to measure everything and report it in a way that you want, and also set up reporting frequencies of each type of a report, right? So this kind of capabilities are required, and then using this framework is a best practice to like make team-wise reports in the frequency that you desire, and also like share it with shareability of these reports with other stakeholders that are adjacent to your teams. While having said that, it is also important, right? Functionally, when you measure it, it's great, but you are part of a larger team, which is your brand. It is recommended to have a command center which looks at data across all of this. It's a brand's view of what customers are collectively perceiving their brand as, right? Now, this having this will kind of align a lot of teams to the larger North Star metrics and goals that they have, and also look at functional reports that they have, and then how you align with it. These are the kind of best practices one should follow for sharing insights. Yeah.
And Nitin, could you also mention some of more challenges which brands come to you and like they deliver to you that we want this, we want that? As you just mentioned about the North Star metric, sorry. So how do you help brands achieve that, their North Star metric?
Yeah. Vijay, you want to take that question?
Sure.
Yeah, sorry.
So, for example, a North Star metric for a particular brand could be, right? Like, I would like my share of voice to be more than 30% every time, right? Now, so then you're gonna look at how popular your brand is. Yeah, are you getting more of these conversations from the campaigns that you're running? Are you getting more of this share of voice from the positive reviews that you're getting? So you can kind of have those North Star metrics defined at the organization level, and then functionally you can actually like task it out to marketing team to like really help with more number of campaigns to enable positive conversations around the brand thrive. And also look at other team members, right? Maybe the PR team to really like republish a lot of PR visibility that they have, so that there are more people talking about it. So those kind of alignments is something that one should look at if you have a North Star metric, and that's how you can actually like divide this into multiple functions to help them achieve the North Star metric.
Okay, that's quite relevant, Vijay. And now, Vishal, if you can come in and just share a couple of examples where Locobuzz as a brand has helped other brands in deriving insights with unified data. Vishal.
Sure. So there are many examples. You know, I remember we working with a telecom giant, and once we have identified the customer, being able to recommend to these customers, you know, the best recharge, things like that. You know, recommended products along with how best to serve them. Then I remember, we were able to run this experiment with a very large bank, where we looked at all the people who have shared their phone numbers or email addresses for various kind of conversations, say around concerns with their credit card. And then we were able to identify these customers who are present in the database based on these identifiers, and then send them a very curated marketing campaign to upgrade them to the next credit card. Then we have also seen, so I'm talking about unified data when I am trying to unify customer data from the transactional database and from the social behavioral data, which I'm getting from the open social media universe. Then we also have worked with brands where we have unified data across multiple data sources like YouTube, Facebook, Insta, Twitter, and used all this data to figure out, a best marketing strategy for launching a new product. I remember doing this research where, what do people talk about? Hair color more, hairstyle more, they fear about hair loss more, and using all this data to, come up with a product strategy roadmap as well as a marketing roadmap. As recently, we even did an analysis around, as basic a product as lipstick. And it was, enlightening for me to see the amount of information available where people are talking about texture as being an important aspect, people talking about how it tastes, to ingredients, and for example, which color. So now I know that nude color lipstick are most talked about lipstick in country India. So it's amazing the value of this information can be leveraged in so many ways to fine-tune your marketing innovation strategy, launch new products, beat the competition at the game. So you can unify data from different sources, or you can unify data about a person from different touch points to develop better understanding and use that also for your marketing. So these are the few examples I want to share.
Okay, thank you, Vishal. And Vijay, let me ask you this, that as Vishal just rightly mentioned about some of the products, we also have, if we have products, we have reviews as well. So what are the advantages of such feedback that are coming from like unconventional sources, that is social listening, and what are its advantages?
Yes. So unconventional or unsolicited feedback is really key to learn non-biased customer perception about your brand, right? There are sources like product reviews, there are sources like general conversation on Twitter, and then maybe just a comment on a video of that product by an influencer, right? So there are so many places where customers are like letting us know in a way what they feel about this particular product, how do they like to use it, right? So this kind of feedback is really key. And really, for example, right, product reviews or these comments on these videos really help you to understand the gaps between your your products, and then are there any substitute products available? You can discover that as well, right? And then you can also identify from that, are people ready to buy? Are there problems that people are talking about that they can't buy? For example, like, hey, I like this particular phone, but it is not available. So it really proves that there is customer intent, but there is a problem for distribution to kind of like fulfill that customer intent. You can identify a lot of such hurdles that may come in between you and your customers and their customer satisfaction, right? So you can identify that, and then with reporting tools like Locobuzz, you can even create alerts for certain events. For example, if people are telling, let's say there are about 1,000 people complaining each day for a large brand that, hey, I am not able to get this product. That is 1,000 customers lost per day. An alert would perhaps save that, right? So that's how alert to the right person or multiple people together. So somebody will really pick it up and solve for that issue. So social listening as a practice to identify what's happening around your brand, around your competition brand, or generally the whole industry, right? Gives a great insight to the company to maneuver their business and their brand further.
And Nitin, I'm really curious on sentiment analysis. So do you have anything to share on that as well? How do you do that?
Actually, Vajasvi, in this space for sentiment analysis, I think we are the only company who are doing sentiment analysis so efficiently. So out of box, 109 different languages are supported with our ML model. And so sentiment analysis is not a big problem, but doing it at a internet scale, that creates a problem, right? So we were able to do it at an efficiency which no other tool can provide, right? So every data point, so we collect around 50 million data points in a month. So every data point has to go through sentiment analysis, and at a peak time it can go up to like 10,000 mentions in a minute, right? So creating ML models which are so efficient, that's where we shine actually. So it's a very complex problem to solve, and we have solved it for 109 different languages. So for English, you can get up to 98% of accuracy. So yeah, so that's where we stand in terms of sentiment analysis.
And how do you manage the other local vernacular languages? How do you do that?
Yeah, so yes, so this proprietary algorithm which we have created, it caters to around 12 or 15 Indian languages, right?
Okay.
And it gives you, without any more modification, it gives you more than 80% of accuracy on these Indian languages. So that's a feat in itself. So so yeah, and apart from that, we do sentiment analysis of Japanese, Chinese, and all different international languages as well, and its accuracy is pretty good.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Nitin. And now moving back to Vishal now. So Vishal, what kind of actionable insights a marketer, a sales leader, and even a C-suite can use from Locobuzz analytics platform, Vishal?
Sure. So, Locobuzz has such wealth of actionable intelligence, right? Whether you are a marketeer, whether you are somebody responsible for solving customer queries, whether you are responsible for building the strategy for product innovation, or whether you are, working purely from a engagement matrix perspective, whether you want to develop a better understanding with your peer, or you just want to do market research to understand what do people feel about EV, for example. All of these things are sort of handcrafted and available as out-of-box dashboards. So not only, so what we do is, so what Nitin talked about, right, a little bit on sentiment analysis, accuracy on those things. It's not just that, right? We do emotion, toxicity, we augment this data further. And we are able to derive attributes like profession, interests, hobbies about this person from this persona. So now imagine, I'm not telling you that, that this Twitter follower has a negative sentiment about your product. I am telling you that usually engineers tend to not like what you're doing, but the creative types love what you're doing. And that is insane amount of intelligence. So this augmented data and all of this is available via out-of-box dashboards, is available via amazing number of widgets, and is available via raw attributes which you can use to create any visualization you want. And then we have such powerful filtering capability, whether it is based on language, region, channel type, persona type, emotion type. You can just deep dive as much as you want. And then you can furthermore, integrated now with GPT-3, you say that I don't even want to analyze it. Can somebody analyze it for me and have, I think the world's best AI available to mankind today, analyze this data for you, put its insights for you, and then press a button and get a PPT out of it. So it's like, it doesn't get simpler than that.
Okay, interestingly put. And now as we are moving towards, and we'll also take some questions from the audience, but before that, a last question from three of you. I'll begin with Nitin and Vishal. So, sorry, Nitin and Vijay. So, Vijay, first of all, can you just looking ahead, what new trends do you see in emerging in the area of customer intelligence, and how can organizations prepare for these changes?
Yeah, so looking ahead, we're really super excited with the sudden turn of events in all our life, right? Suddenly AI is not dumb at all, right? It's super intelligent in many cases. It writes better emails than most of us. So with a lot of positivity, we're looking ahead, and then we know there are quite a few things which are coming in this year and next year. Very things that we are excited about is right, ability to learn from images. There are like Instagram's popularity is huge, and it's true that a picture does speak 1,000 words, right? And then you can learn from that ability to identify if is my logo up there and in how many pictures, where is it, was this by a influencer. So those kind of analysis now becomes very much possible. Now looking at that, we can also look at ability to segment customer better, so that you can have a personalized engagement with them every time you speak. Having a personal assistant to having a personal assistant for self-serve, right? Ability to ask, hey, when does my can you like even use conversational commerce and other things to change my delivery date, because I am now going for a week-long trips elsewhere that I will not be at home, right? Ability to just say it in text and have it delivered some days later, right? So those kind of things are possible through conversational AI, which is already improving further. And we are looking at using a lot of things from a workflow perspective, where you can use this great capabilities and tie to your own processes that you're always been running, and how we can improve that stage by stage while creating great experiences at the end of it to every party who interacts with your brand on every digital touch point.
And Nitin, can you add on to that?
Yeah, so I think the real-time nature of the this space. So first of all, we'll have to eliminate silos, right? So I think one trend is that businesses will understand and they will realize that they will have to break these silos, and they will have to make sure that all their data is just are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So they will have to realize that siloed kind of platforms will not work. So that there is a centralized location of all the customer behavior, all their interactions, so that they can take informed decision. So that is one trend I think it is going to grow in the future, and that's where Locobuzz, a platform like Locobuzz can help the businesses.
Okay, and thank you so much. And Vishal, like quickly to the last question. So finally, it is often said that for delivering great CX, an organization needs to have a strong customer-centric culture. So any best practice to derive this culture you want to share?
Sure. So one thing we definitely take pride in is how Locobuzz can help bring customer centricity from policy to practice in your organization. And the most interesting part about customer centricity is like pursuit of excellence. It's like a never-ending exercise. You can, you do this much, you can raise the bar more, you can raise the bar more. So you have to adopt this mindset of continuous improvement. This is a goalpost which is you need to always sort of move in a direction which helps the customers. And you really need to never settle for meeting customer expectations. Like we say, we help you exceed customer expectations. And that's really what the game is about, right? You celebrate your success, do a quick pat, but move on to, what can we do more? And that's how you sort of are always up there with your customers, helping them and build long-term loyalty and advocacy for the brand.
Great. Thank you so much. And like I said, that we're almost towards the end. But before taking up the audience questions, we'll take up a poll, as you have all heard our eminent speakers speak. So can we get the poll? So the poll has ended. Now we can take up the questions from the audience. As I can see, Mr. Abhishek Kumar has just mentioned few questions. We'll go ahead and take his third question. I'll just say, I'm interested to know how Locobuzz leverages insights to help brands become more empathetic towards their customers. Can you provide an example of how insights have been used to improve customer experiences and drive business growth? So, any
I'll
of
take
you
that,
can take the question.
so in one of the use cases, I remember some people tweeted that, if we get a better connectivity in our village, we've never seen the high-speed internet which you provide. If we can get it, it can help us study better and pass exams. And our telecom partner there got these insights, saw the pattern, and you won't believe they actually set up towers like that as well to help people. I mean, the kind of impact a little bit of customer empathy can create is just remarkable. I mean, we have cases where before people have left the food, the restaurant, the F&B manager has come in and met their expectations in every way possible. So like how Nitin was saying, the real-time nature, and breaking the silos enables all these things. You can spot patterns, you can spot customers, you can help and delight them in real time. So
Okay.
online to offline.
Great. So we have another question from Ms. Namita Porwal. She says, how do you map user identity from internal CRMs to external social media and marketplaces?
Vijay, you want to take that? Vijay has been like championing the CRM integrations all across companies.
Great.
All right. So thanks. So basically, it comes down to customer identification via a private conversation that you would have on social platforms, where you would get, usually it is their phone number or an email ID that you would ask to identify that customer, right? With that and a Locobuzz CRM integration, we can connect that customer record to not just one, but multiple social handles. In Locobuzz, you already have that only one view of the customer, right? Even if that person is coming from, like, let's say Instagram, but then maybe tomorrow on Twitter, and maybe on WhatsApp a day later, it's all in under one profile. So that rich data married with the CRM data, which may house their transactions and their classification of premium versus non-premium customers. It's very valuable information for both people using Locobuzz to identify this customer better and learn about their previous brand experience, and also for CRM users to know what is this person on social, how influential are they positively speaking and engaging with our brand content. So the multiple things that one can do with it.
I guess there's another question which I think you can take it. And what are the three, it's again from Mr. Abhishek Kumar, what are the top 3 things to keep in mind while responding to negative mentions?
The top 3 things you need to keep in mind is first, where are you responding and who are you responding to, right? If you're responding to somebody who's already like written 4 or 5 times, and now you're responding to that person, you can you have to keep those things in mind on who are you responding to. It's better and always advised to, as much as possible, take the conversation private so that you can address to that one problem, because on public channel it is usually like right, there are so many people who can jump into that conversation and try to derail that conversation. So it's always better be humble, apologize for the like that gap in the services, right? That's why people are writing. And then this is about the negative mentions, but I just wanted to also talk about the positive mentions. Go ahead and like that comment. When somebody says positive things about your brand, and then they see a notification that XYZ brand has liked your comment, goes some way further. right? You can even reply to that, right? And say like, thank you, please, keep doing this for us. Those kind of things are also there. And whenever you answer a frequently asked questions, do it in the public forum, so that there are more people who are reading about it, may also have the same questions about your brand and get answered with mere reading of the same thread.
I guess Mr. Abhishek Kumar has got all his answers, and now we are moving towards the end. And I think thank you so much, gentlemen, for all your answers and great insights. Are there any more questions we would want to have, or any of you would like to add anything at the end?
I am seeing a question from Rajesh. Hi, Rajesh. Your question is what's Locobuzz's customer value proposition, and how we are different from other category players like Qualitrix and Medallia, right? I come back to one of the questions asked to me about solicited and unsolicited feedback. These two platforms are good at analyzing a customer feedback. That feedback comes to you when you ask for it, and the customer really feels it worthwhile to give you that. And once they do give you, we've usually, as a customer, I have either given a 5-star or a 1-star. Depends on my mood of the day and my view of the that brand on that given point of time, right? It's usually biased. I'm not telling it is unimportant. It is usually biased. But when you look at Locobuzz, which is our customer intelligence is powered by general conversations that is happening on public web about your brand or any topic in nature. So you can have through this, you are able to understand a lot about your customers, maybe even few aspects that a few aspects about your customers that you didn't intend to learn about the first place. For example, ability to understand that you have great fan following in Hindi for Hindi content that you are doing, or people that talking to you back in Hindi. So those kind of things becomes very vital and insight for more than just one team in your organization.
I think there's another question from Ms. Ayushi Manku. She just needs to know about the visualization tools used and tools used for dashboard and Locobuzz.
Oh, we use our proprietary software. We are a social and conversational data purpose built visualization or business intelligence tools. If somebody is using a product like Power BI and Tableau, and these products need certifications also to use, because it's a very advanced product for advanced use case. But our primary customers are marketers. Our primary customers are the CX leaders. We want to empower easier way for our users to dig into data and get insights very quickly. So we use our own proprietary capabilities to ensure data visualization is on point, and all the functionalities to enable double click and then read more information about the data point that you're just looking, and also use cutting edge functionalities to have an AI explain what this data is all about and what has happened to it.
Thank you so much, Vijay, for catering to all the questions and answering them well. And I think we are now a little out of time. So I think we are towards the end. But before that, I would really like all of you. I really like to thank all of you. And we have some great insight from the session. Thank you, Vishal. Thank you, Nitin. Thank you, Vijay, for taking out your time for the session today. It was lovely hosting you and lovely interacting with you all. Thank you so much.
Likewise. Take care, Jasvi. Pleasure talking to you all. Thank you so much for attending, everyone.
Thanks. See you. Bye.
Bye.